Nachiketa was the son of sage Vajrasavas. He was performing a sacrifice named Vishwajit Yagya. In this yagya, the performer had to give away all his wealth. In ancient times, cows were designated as valuable and special possessions, and hence Vajrasava, desiring a gift from the gods, decided to donate all the cows to Brahmins. Nachiketa was in his teens, and he was observing the sacrificial ritual with innocent interest. He was surprised to notice that his father was giving away only old and disabled cows unable to give milk. Nachiketa was very intelligent and with pure heart. He said to his father that he has heard in this yagya one has to give up all that one possesses. This being the case, to whom will you give me? His father did not give any reply. After some time, Nachiketa asked again, but in vain. He did not get any response from his father. Again, for the third time, Nachiketa repeated the same question. His father could not control his temper. He burst out saying to his own son, I will give you to Yama, the god of death. Nachiketa followed the words of his father and went to the kingdom of death. However, during that time, Yama was not present. None dared to admit Nachiketa. So he waited near the gate for 3 days and 3 nights, without even taking a single drop of water. When Yama returned and found Nachiketa at his doorsteps, he felt sad for keeping a Brahmin waiting for 3 days and 3 nights. He ordered his attendants to fetch holy water to invite and welcome Nachiketa. After the hospitality offered to Nachiketa, Yama told him, Dear child, I have not done good by keeping you waiting for 3 days. So I request you to ask 3 boons. Nachiketa asked, First boon, O Lord, let my father not be anxious about me, and let his anger against me vanish. When I go back to earth, let him recognize me and receive me back gladly. Granted, son, said Yama. Nachiketa was just a child, and obviously he wanted to be loved by his father and not to be scolded by him, so naturally this was his first boon. The second boon that he asked for was, Teach me the proper ritual for the fire sacrifice. Yama agreed and taught Nachiketa the proper ritual of fire sacrifice. That was the sacrifice that people were doing back in earth. Nachiketa wanted to know what the real purpose is and how to properly practice that fire sacrifice. The third and most important boon that he asked for, Is there indeed a life beyond death? Yama said. Boy, do not ask me about that matter of life and death. Even the gods are not clear about all these. Ask me something else. I will grant you all your wishes other than this. Nachiketa persisted and said, O Yama, I only wish to know about the mysteries of life and death and nothing else. Yama tries to offer Nachiketa worldly pleasures so that he may change the nature of his request. But Nachiketa insists by stating that all the worldly pleasures are short-lived and do not render long-lasting happiness. Nachiketa was bold enough by saying that one can never reach the eternal through these worldly possessions. In such a small age, he was so much wise. Therefore, he has renounced all the desire for worldly pleasure and has come here with the hope of winning the eternal through the instructions of the god of death. It was too difficult for Yama to change the mind of the young Nachiketa. So he finally agreed to tell Nachiketa about the mysteries of life and death. The self is immortal. It was not born, nor does it die. It did not come out of anything, neither did anything came out of it. Even if this body is destroyed, the soul is not destroyed. Smaller than the smallest and larger than the largest, the self is living in all beings. Mere reading of the scriptures or intellectual learning cannot realize Atman. One must discriminate the Atman from the body, which is the seat of desires. It reveals itself to the deserving ones. The goal of the wise is to know this Atman, to know his self. This body is the chariot, intelligence the driver, the sense are the horses, conscience the rein, and the Atman is the lord of the chariot. The self is superior to mind, body, and senses. Greater than the individual soul is the enveloping superconsciousness, the seed of everything in this universe. Still greater is the ultimate person, than whom there is nothing greater. He is the goal of our aspiration. Once that supreme self is realized, death loses all its terror, and the one who has realized becomes immortal. The path to realization is long and difficult. Inability to realize Brahman results in one's being enmeshed in the cycle of rebirths. Understanding the self leads to moksha. The ultimate person that Yama is talking about is not a person. He is personifying the supreme consciousness of the self for that small boy to understand the concept. Don't take it as a real person. No form or creature can take place of the consciousness, which is all pervading. But we can use a form or a name or a shape to represent that ultimate or supreme self.